Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I was debating what to film this morning because I knew I wanted to film, but I really just didn't know what exactly I wanted to film. And I kind of just decided on let's do a get ready with me. So basically, I just said let's hit record. I'm gonna get my face on. And yeah, I'll be a little bit of chit chat in between here and there, but basically I'm just gonna get ready for the day. So let's just get into it. So first I'm using my Velvet Maron smoothing, no that's not right. So first I'm using my Velvet Finish Maron Primer Serum. I love this primer. This has definitely become my favorite primer of all time. And not only do I like it for myself, but I use it on my clients, and I can assure you that your makeup is going to last so much longer with this primer. So I'm going to spot conceal first before I put on my foundation. I've had a little bit of a breakout right here. Really annoying, but they're drying up, and so now they're looking really pigmented with color. So I'm just going to kind of camouflage that. And I'm using my Bobbi Brown touch-up stick in the shade Warm Sand. And just dabbing that out with my finger. Then for foundation, I'm be using my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. You guys know I did a review on this, and I am still really enjoying it. I really like it. It's definitely become, I think, my most recent drugstore favorite foundation. That was really long to say. I don't think I've ever done a get ready with me video, or at least a full face even tutorial where I'm talking through it, so this is definitely new for me. I don't know. Do you guys like these kind of videos where I'm talking through the whole thing, or rather do a voiceover? I kind of like voiceovers more, but I don't know, sometimes it's fun to just talk in front of the camera. So I'm going to be stippling this all over my face using a BH Cosmetics flat top kabuki brush. And as you can tell, I'm pressing it more into my skin than I am swiping it, just because pressing it into it and stippling all over the face instead of just smoothing it over is going to give you a more full coverage, which I enjoy. This brush that I'm using here, it's really good for putting on your foundation and for contouring as well, as far as smoothing out cream products. And I believe I got this in like a set of, yeah, I got this in a set of brushes from BH Cosmetics. And I think the whole set, and came with like, I don't know, 10 brushes, was like $12 or something. It was a really good deal. And they're good brushes. I used them. I had 2 weddings this weekend, and I used them on 4 of my clients. And their foundation came out really flawless. What I do is I put it on the back of my hand, and then I actually just press my brush into the product, because that way it not only pushes the product onto the brush, but it also dabs off a little bit of any excess and just leaves it there instead of just picking it all up and using it all on my face. So you don't over apply it also. Before I go on with concealer, I'm going to be brightening and correcting under my eyes first. And I'm be using my Bobbi Brown Tinted Eye Brightener in the shade Light Bisque. You guys know I really like my Bobbi Brown Corrector in Light Bisque. And this pretty much does the same thing as that. It neutralizes any discoloration underneath the eye, but it's a lot more lightweight, which I personally enjoy, and especially since I don't really have too bad of under eye circles or discoloration underneath my eyes, this pretty much just does the job for me as well as the corrector does. And you can use a brush to kind of just smooth this out, but I just kind of like to use my finger because, I don't know, my fingers are there. Let's use them. Let's put those phalanges to use. I swear every time I hear the word phalange, I automatically think of Friends and I think of Phoebe. If you guys are a fan of the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Rebecca Phalange. Okay, and then for concealer and for highlighting, I'm going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW15. So I just take 1 pump on the back of my hand. This is such a full coverage concealer, and it's so foolproof. 1 pump does the job, especially, well, I know for me it does the job, and I usually just use 1 pump on my clients as well. I recently got nails put on, and I normally don't do nails because my nails grow out really fast. So for me, it's kind of like a waste to get them done. But my mom was treating, so I figured why not? Let's just do something fun. Real cheap, right? So I'm now taking my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I love this brush for setting or at least spreading out the product of concealer underneath my eye, because since it's so tapered nicely and it's really dense also, it just buffs out the product and leaves a nice full coverage, but yet it just kind of helps melt it into your foundation as well. This is technically a foundation brush, so you could definitely use this to apply your foundation and your concealer as well. Also, the shape of it just really makes it easy to get underneath that eye area without having to like poke at your eye. So once I've buffed out all of my concealer, I'm going to now bake my under eye area. And what that means, if you don't know, because I know that can sound kind of scary, I told one of my coworkers one time that I'm baking my under eye area now, and she was like, what? Why? But what that means is basically I'm going to load on a lot of powder underneath my under eye area to really set that concealer and keep it from creasing. So at first, yeah, I'm not going to lie, it looks a little crazy and you look kind of psycho doing this, but it works, and it works so well. I mean, if you guys have problems with creasing, I highly, highly recommend just giving this a try. And for those of you who don't like to wear a lot of makeup, or, you know, you feel like you're kind of more on the natural sheer side, I get it. I understand. This could be totally like not for you. Maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it. But I can assure you, if you have problems with creasing, this is going to fix that problem. So basically, I'm just taking some translucent powder. This is my translucent powder from Mary Kay onto a powder puff, and I'm just literally pressing and loading that powder onto my under eye. And you can just see here that I definitely have traces of powder. We're not going to leave it like that, I promise you. We're going to let that set for a few minutes while I do the rest of my face, and then we're going to actually just swipe it off and blend it off, and it looks really great. And like I said, it keeps your concealer set all day long, like no joke. But you want to make sure before you set the powder that you just really make sure you have no creasing underneath your eye, because that's going to kind of defeat the whole purpose, and you're actually going to set that crease line, and then it's going to be hard to blend it away because now you've loaded on a whole bunch of powder, and the powder to cream ratio is going to be like way off to where it's going to be hard for you to blend out that cream again. So really make sure that your under eye is nice and well blended, and go right away, just go in there and set it. So now I'm going to be warming up my skin tone a little bit using some bronzer. And I've really been enjoying this bronzer. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. But like I said, I've really been enjoying this bronzer because one, it smells freaking delicious. And two, it blends out really easily. And I know I haven't done a favorites video in a while, but I'm definitely going to be doing one at the end of this month because I've had a lot of products that I've gotten enough time to use with, and I've actually found some that I really enjoy. So now it's time for me to really introduce them to you guys. I don't like to do a favorites just because, especially if I haven't had enough time with the product, because then I don't really feel like I'm giving you an honest, full opinion of it. And for these past couple of months, I've had a lot of products that were new, but they were still very new to me, and I hadn't had enough time with them to feel like I could call them a favorite product of mine. So basically, I'm just taking this into the hollows of my cheek and around my temple. This is more for warming up my skin tone and to just add a little bit of dimension back into my face. This is not so much my contouring part. I do powder contour every day. I don't cream contour every day. So for my powder contouring, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Contour Kit. And I really like this middle shade right here. So I'm going to be taking this onto a Sephora number 56 brush. I believe this is the Pro Flawless Airbrush brush. Just taking a little bit on there. And I'm really just going to be going in and defining the hollows of my cheek even more so. And then I'm actually taking the color, I think this is Havana. I'm not too sure. The names could be totally off on this, and I apologize in advance, but I'm taking this shade right here. I haven't refilled this yet because it's still kind of fairly new to my kit, so the product is still in the original placement that it comes in. I'll look online, and even then, you guys are just as much of makeup junkies as I am probably, and you guys probably know the names of these by heart, so. Anyway, so yeah, I like to use this shade to warm up just my temples and my forehead a little bit more. I don't really like to use the gray up here as much as I do on my cheekbone because I don't really want to create a shadow. I just kind of want to create a more, a smaller looking forehead. And then I just like to take some right here behind my ear and just down here. I don't like to do the whole contouring on the jawline too much. I don't know, I don't really care for it. Now that our under eye has baked a good amount, I'll be taking the banana powder from that contour kit and on a Bobbi Brown sheer powder brush. And now I'm actually going to be not only setting the other highlighted areas of my face, but I'm also going to blend away the baking that we did. And I literally just blend it away, as you can tell. And then I'm going to contour my nose using the same gray shade. So I like to just take this, again, this is another brush from that set, from the BH Cosmetics set that I just told you about, that I used my foundation for. This is a smaller little dome shaped brush, perfect for cream contouring, even for powder contouring. It picks up powder products really well too. So I'm also putting that on my Cupid's bow and underneath my bottom lip. And then I'm going to bring it on the sides of my nose. And then I blend downward. For the blush I'm going to be using today, I'm using my Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. This blush really is the bomb. I feel like there's a lot of hype about it from other beauty YouTubers and makeup artists, but it's a well-deserved hype. The one thing I would say about it though is that it doesn't last as long as some other blushes that I've used, but other than that, it does last for a good amount of time. Probably the average amount of blush should last for. And the color is really great. It's really versatile about this particular shade. So I'm just taking that on the apples of my cheek and blending outward. I already know what eye look I have in mind, and I'm going to tell you right now it involves a lot of color. Okay, not a lot of color, but it does involve color. So I kind of wanted something peachy to complement the tones I'm going to put on my eye, but also somewhat more on the neutral side. Oh my gosh. You guys, I get tongue twisted or tongue tied so much. I'm actually surprised I don't mess up as often when I'm filming because it could be really bad. So anyway, yeah, I said I already had an eye look in mind. I don't know if anybody else does this, but I can say for sure, and I have no problem admitting this. You know how some people like to plan out their outfits for the next day? I literally will think about what makeup I'm going to wear the next day, like what kind of look I want to wear. I plan out my makeup looks. Does anybody else do that? Or am I like weird? For highlight, I'm taking my Balm Mary Luminizer. You guys know I love this highlight. This is pretty much my all-time favorite. It's very intense, but it's very pretty. I'm just taking that on the high points of my cheek, on my Cupid's bow, center on my chin a little bit, and on the tip of my nose, and just on the swoop of my nose. So not only does baking help with the creasing underneath your under eye, it also really helps with cleaning up your contour. I personally like a more sharp contour than I do like a more buffed out, blended, natural looking contour. That's just me. So I'm taking my Bobbi Brown Pale Yellow Sheer Pressed Powder onto that same powder puff, just on the opposite side that I didn't use the translucent powder on. And then really you're just going to clean it up here. So I'm going to take it from my ear and really go through the hollow of my cheek, which you can just see right there. And we're going to let that set too. And as that's setting, I am going to go in and do my brows. So I'm first going to be taking my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre and just smoothing that all over my eyelids. You guys know I swear by this eye base. It really is my ultimate all-time favorite. And even just on its own, I like to wear it like that sometimes. Just put a little bit of like a nice taupey color in my crease and you're good to go. You don't need to waste so much time on eyeshadows. But today we're going to. So really the top lid today is going to be kind of like not the fun part of this look. I'm just going to be taking a little bit of clay from my Steal It in the No palette, and I'm going to be just buffing that all into my crease really sloppily because it doesn't really matter as far as the placement of the shadow. And I'm using my Bobbi Brown eye blender brush. This is just to add a little bit more definition to our eye. I have an itch. Ah, it's a hair. Oh. I don't know about you guys, but I hate when I get itches near my nose because when I scratch it, I feel like right when you're done scratching it, it looks like you were just picking your nose. And like usually somebody just turned to like look at you and you're like, oh my God, I swear I was not picking my nose like all out in public and stuff. I was just scratching my nose. It was an itch. Okay, so once that's all there, nice and dandy, I'm actually taking a new product. And this is a whipped eye color from Mary Kay. This is in the shade Tiki Hut. And it's this really nice bronzy color here. And I'm actually going to apply that all over the lower lid. This is the first time I'm going to be using this shade, so it has a really cool texture to it though. Because it feels wet almost. But when it dries, it's powdery. So I'm just blending that up into my crease, kind of blending it in with that desert shade. So after that cream shadow is on, I'm going to be taking my Mary Luminizer again for my inner corner highlight. Next I'm going to be adding on my wing liner, and I'm just taking my Maybelline Eye Studio Blackest Black gel liner onto an angled brush, and I'm just going to map out my wing first. And then I'm going to connect it inward. So I applied my wing liner. I was kind of struggling a little bit, so yeah, I did my other eye off camera. And now I'm going to be applying some mascara. I think the cream shadow that I used, the Tiki Hut one, it made a really slippery surface on my eyelid, so the color kept transferring onto my crease. I don't know about that. Yay, I was able to get them on. I literally used like the last bit of glue I had. Oh my God, I don't know, I need to get that glue in so soon. Like, I need it in my life. I cannot be without my House of Lashes glue. Okay, anyway, moving on. So to finish off this look, we're gonna now complete the bottom lid. So first I'm just putting that gel liner on my waterline. So first I'm just going to smoke out that bottom line using the black shadow from the Steal It in the No palette. This one's called Ebony. I'm going to be taking the color Chaos from my Electric palette from Urban Decay. This is the bright, bright royal blue they have in there. Just kind of tossing off any excess because it's going to be pretty pigmented. And I'm actually just going to smoke out the bottom line using this shade. So the black liner and shadow we put on there was kind of more of like a base for this. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the color Gonzo. So once we have that color on nice and smoked out, I'm going to be just coating my bottom lashes with some mascara as well. I really think I'm going to be doing more tutorials with that palette because just for spring, you know. I can't see. Ugh. So once our eye look is complete, I'm going to be topping this off with the Barely Bloomed shade from the Maybelline Rebel Bloom collection lipsticks. I just like it because it's more of like a peachy kind of nude. It'll complement the cheeks really well as much as the eyes too. And I'm going to go back in and add a lip liner just to define the edges of my lip a little bit more. So I just went back and added a little bit of lip liner just because I wanted my lips to be a little bit more defined. They were looking a little bit too washed out just on its own. So I used my neutral lip liner from Mary Kay. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is just kind of bronze up my shoulders a little bit, because with the bronzer and the blush and everything we have on our face, I am really pale right now. So I haven't done any kind of self-tanning or anything like that. I feel like my seat's too low. There we go. And yeah, so I'm just using my Mary Kay bronzing powder, and this is in the shade light to medium. I'm actually just going to bronze up my shoulders a little bit. So like I said earlier, I had weddings this past weekend, and of course, like, I take all my brushes with me just because it's better to be safe than sorry. And I had this brush there with me, and all my clients are freaking out with it because they've never seen a brush this big. And I know it is massively huge, but that's really why I love it. And it's good for the décolleté area because you can just get a really large area and get it done really fast. So if you're wearing like a dress that's going to be showing off your shoulders and your chest or your décolleté, this is a great brush to use to just kind of add that little bit of a glow over this area, so you don't look so washed out. Oh, I love it. So then after that, that pretty much completes this whole look. I am so ready to go out and run some errands. I'm gonna grab something to eat because I am starving. My stomach was pretty much growling throughout this whole video. Anyway, but that's basically it. Let's see. Oh, okay, one thing, a little bit of like a life update. So if you guys have been with my channel for a while now, my channel is actually going to be going on its 1-year anniversary pretty soon. So pretty much a few months after I had started my YouTube channel, I did mention that I was actually hired with Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. I was a makeup artist. I worked at a counter. I have enjoyed doing that so much. But at the same time, it is still a retail position as well. So not only are we makeup artists, but we are also liable to sell the product as well. And as much as I like that, the half of my job was, you know, doing the makeup and, you know, actually just the makeup application, the artistry was just what I really loved and enjoyed. The other half of the selling, I will be honest, I didn't really care for. So just like a little bit of an update as to what's going on, I am actually no longer working with Bobbi Brown anymore. So I am now actually an independent freelance makeup artist. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring this up, because throughout this video I kept kind of mentioning my clients, this and that. And for those of you who have been my clients with Bobbi Brown before, you're probably wondering, wait, you've never used that product on me. That's not Bobbi Brown. No. These are now my outside clients that I'm referring to, and the clients that I'm going to be now taking care of outside. And, you know, as I gain more clients, of course, I use stuff from my makeup kit that I've had for a while, but that does contain other brands and stuff. So yeah, I'm just really excited because now I get to do what I love, which is to just do makeup application, the artistry on its own, full time. And then of course now I have more time to dedicate to YouTube and to my blog, which is also just a really big passion of mine and just something that I definitely enjoy doing thoroughly. To me, this isn't so much of work or a job for me. It's just something that I like to do on the side as apart from my freelancing business. And it's just something for me to really, you know, reach those that I won't be able to reach because you don't live in my area and stuff like that. And it's just something that I really enjoy doing. So I'm just really excited. And I don't know when this video will be up, but I'm pretty sure this video will be up by the time that I've already completed my last week there at counter. And I've had such an amazing time working there. I feel like without working there, I wouldn't have really realized my potential, and I wouldn't have really found the passion and what I really enjoy doing in life. And it's just makeup. Makeup has been such a big part of my life since I was just a little girl, and I just didn't think I could actually make a career out of it. But the tables have turned and God has a different plan for me. So yeah, I'm really excited to pursue this new venture now. So just wanted to update you guys because I'll no longer be talking too much about Bobbi Brown or my Bobbi Brown clients or new products and stuff like that. So just in case you're wondering why and what's up with that, that's why. And yeah, I just want to keep you guys informed and I want to be 100% honest with you. But yeah, so I'm gonna get going now because I feel like I've rambled on way too much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!